This DJ's so funky, man.
On 3, 2, 1. Activate.
This is the RDDC podcast. Welcome to the Real Double Dose channel. This is your host Lex coming to you straight from the heart, where the talk is real and the vibe is always live. For any questions of anything you want to say, we're always here for you, because here, serving a slice of everyday life is what RDDC is all about. For any questions, feedback, or show requests, as always, you can reach us at Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com. That's Real Double Dose channel at yandex.com. You can also reach us for any food for thoughts, apparel, on the left hand or the right hand side of the blog, for any segments, just food for the spirit, basically, and videos and motivational tips, cooking tips, meditational tips. So much information packed through those pages, and we're having more visualization books, and a surprise book coming out for everyone for a download, or a PDF download you can have for free. So make sure to check that out as soon as you can. Thank you for your comments and your questions and everything else. And we do have something for you. You can reach us there at realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. That's realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. So, everything has to come with a little slice of something. So we are going to be answering a question from a lovely RDDC family, and that is going to be coming to you, I believe, from Fort Myers, Florida, and that is Alicia M. And her question is, who to be in love with? So who to be in love with is that, but we're going to call this segment In Love With You. So thank you, Alicia M. from the beautiful Fort Myers, Florida area, where one of my aunties have one of their homes. And I can't wait to go visit there. So one of these times, people are going to always ask you, who are you in love with? I mean, many of the questions come with,
just who are you?
Yeah, just who are you? So at the end of the day, in the beginning of the day, like I always say, you never know what you're going to get. So let's jump right in there, shall we? It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And all I know from Alicia, from what I can say, there is a book that I'm working on right now about how to find more of that love through yourself, through the infinite source that has that purity of essence for us on the comprehensible scale. Because who Lex is and who I am, who we are as collectively whole, all of us, it's only a fraction of what we can even fathom to the mind, but we definitely can go into different perceptions. So who to be in love with? Be in love with only you. And I mean that. So sometimes we can, let's put it this way. From the beginning, you must love yourself, right? We always hear that. But sometimes your mind can just be all over you and be,
Oh, no, you don't.
oh, no, you don't. That's exactly what it can be. But at the same time, we have to remember that it's all about self-preservation and love. Understanding what that is, because if you don't love yourself, right, how can you possibly connect to the infinite source? How can you understand a little bit of a greater love that comes through there? Now, you might not be realizing that you actually are loving yourself. Some people say, oh, well, that's self-righteous, or I can't seem to do that, or I don't want to do that. But at the same time, we're not looking at, just hiring the self where it comes to forget everyone else, but just remember me. It's all about understanding that's where that love comes from. That love has to come from a stream of energy and infinite source for you to even understand, or for us to understand what love is, Alicia, and many others out there. So it doesn't just come simply from, oh, I know what love is, so we're here. It drives people crazy sometimes to look up at the sky and see the stars and the beautiful weather and be like, how did we get here? Why are we here? And what's going on? I know a couple people that have driven themselves to the point of insanity because they can't figure out, why are they here? What for? Why were they born? And what happens next? It can drive all of us mad in our minds. But if we just enjoy the being of right now, understand that we're here, there's nothing we can do about it from this point forward. Now, there's some drastic measures other people take to exit life. And there's some where people just completely go oblivious through life, or completely on a whole nother plane of unnatural sources. But it all comes down to what we can handle and maintain within ourselves and what we allow ourselves to do. So when it comes down to so many things that come out there, in love with you. Because if you love yourself enough, if you can understand the defining principles of love, you see that the infinite source, the great spirit, the creator of all things, is exactly within you. And that peace, that moment. Some people say, well, I am God, in a pompous, arrogant way. Or I am God because God is within me. But they have to understand where that comes from. It's not something to be boastful or blaspheming about to a certain point. But yeah, every single piece and element of us, whether it be a mosquito in the park, has the aura, the ether, the erotic, feeling and being an element of God. When I see beautiful like BBC Channel or Discovery, National Geographic, and I see the animals and the lions have their stomachs just breathing, laying down, and their mouths open, and they're salivating, just trying to get some coolness from chasing down some crazy hyenas. It's kind of like, I look at that moving, or I look at our stomachs. I look at a pregnant woman walking past me and knowing that she has a little life force growing in her. And it makes me just float open with chills up and down my spine, even when I'm feeling them right now, to be like, wow, what a magnificent creative being factor. Some people might go for the Big Bang Theory. Some people might not. Some get upset like, well, if there was a creator, then this wouldn't happen, that wouldn't happen. But like I said, I've mentioned a lot of things where I see people, great things happen, you're happy to have a creator. Or some people are just saying, oh, it comes from myself. If bad things happen, we seem to go for the next thing that comes possible. Like basically blaming our parents, And that's natural to a certain point, the habits that we picked up, habitual or not, to be a part of why not and why is and how come. Everything comes from love. So for me, let me take a page from my book, Alicia. When I have to be in love with myself, I enjoy every measurement, every moment within that, because that's all I have. Now, I do catch myself. I am in the flesh. In this, my spirit is in the flesh, and we're trying to evolve and grow more and more. I find myself getting irritated, angry. Oh, so many things that just get you just going, your blood pumping. But what I've learned to come more so in is having that happy place in your mind. No one can touch, but all things that have made it. So you can create any world you want. I mean, if you look at it, these people who have structured society, it might not be exactly what they perceived, but it's a good chunk of what they thought of. Whether it be the house, the car, the screwdriver, the skateboard, the hot air balloons, the airplanes, the jets, the boats, curtains, fans, whatever. Watch, the phone, how you're listening to me right now, or how you're communicating with me. It all comes from someone's dream or perspective. They were in love with it enough, and enough faith and belief and hope for it to come to fruition. The same faith, belief, and hope we should have in the greatness of the all powers that have given us the life that we have here. Now, granted, some of us don't make it past even coming out of the womb, or shorter on, longer on, but we can't explain everything that happens. We just know that everything happens for a reason, no matter if we accept it or not. Like my new phone. Okay, for instance, for me, the phone thing was completely like, I didn't go too frantic about it, but I was like, oh no, everything that I've been doing on this phone for almost the last 3 years is completely gone. And even though I had the cloud on Verizon, it still missed a lot of my, business aspects that I had. But thank goodness I had a teeny bit of a protocol, but it still made me look at it. And now this phone that I got, even though it's a little bit more expensive and it's nice, is giving me more of the freedom to have my books developed, and it's a clear perspective. And I kind of honed in on that, and now I understand why those things are kind of given to me. Again, if my mic is going in and out, I like to hold it in my hand. I know it could be quiet in some areas. It might even sound messed up. We've been trying to get technical difficulties through here for the crackling, if you hear it or something. But just bear with us. It'll pass. Maybe it's just time for an upgrade. I don't know. We'll have to let, I don't want to say Anthony, but we'll just let Mike or Jamie know about it. So that's what it's all going to come about, is in love with you. Who is in love with you? Now, I was listening to a thing about Mr. T.D. Jakes, or the Reverend T.D. Jakes. I don't know what name he likes to go by. I just say Mr. T.D. Jakes. And it's just certain things out here, whether from Joel Osteen, whether it be from motivational segments on the Mulligan Brothers, different things that they have out there just come collectively whole. And it was saying more so about, that love that we have. Women expect men to love us, as in the way that we perceive love, or what we want love, or the way we desire for them to be, like another girlfriend to us, almost, that they understand the wavelength of how a woman works. Now, vice versa. I mean, a man could think that same way. Well, maybe this and that, but a man distinctively is a man, and he thinks the way he does. Now, not putting any sex on it, of female or male, but at the same time, we have to look at it like, how do we perceive in love? Now, if a person's in love with you, it does not mean, in my perspective, of my opinion and my fact to myself, that if you jump off of a bridge, they're supposed to jump off too because they're in love with you. It means they love themselves enough, or have the common sense to say, okay, this is what she chooses, I'm going to stop her, but at the end of the day, I don't want to go down with her ship. That's not the factor of what we should say. Well, if you were in love with me, you would do this, 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 and that. Or if you were in love with me, you should do this and that. If we cannot give ourselves exactly what we're demanding or asking or waiting to receive from another, then how dare us even ask another person to give us what we don't have? Sometimes unconsciously they'll give that to us, or unknowingly, or very willingly. And we perceive it like, oh, wow, it's such a beautiful thing. It could just be a part of who they are, or what we're actually, with our receptors taking in from how they are. So without those things kind of being relevant to our mentality of, oh, well, this person must love me because, cut the stipulations, cut the expectations to a certain point. Now, it's okay to think, if this person loved me, they wouldn't just text or call me once a month. Now, it doesn't mean they don't love you, but at the same time, it means that their objectives and perspectives and importance are in a whole nother playing field, to where you're not the most relevant factor in their life. They could be going through difficult times, busier times, whatever it is. But yes, when you have your heart and your mind set on something, there's no way you can forget about that thing. There's no way that it comes secondary to you. So it's so many things. We could talk for an hour on breaking this down. So I try to sum it all up really quick, as fast as I can, or as deep as I can in these segments. And have it. And we will be having more power hours as things go on, and extending these. If you can sit and listen, or pause it, or bring it with you and download it. I appreciate the people who have been listening, the people who are out there. But in love with yourself is gratifyingly loving you. Whether it be going to get a nice little, for instance, I go here, Anthony makes fun of me. But for me, I'm like, just go get a bunch of grapes and go sit by the park and just love being you. Love your skin, love your eyes, love your hair. Love the way certain things are about you, and know that they're given to you because you're unique in your own special way. No matter if you see it like, I should be looking like a cover girl, or guys, I should be looking like GQ of the year. You're meant to be you. Now, society has placed a stipulation on what they, quote, perceive as beauty, or what they see as swagged out. Who are they to tell you anything about what you are and what you should be looking like? It's just an idea they're putting out there, and they're hoping that it creates some kind of revenue stream eventually. But you are your own swag, because if you're in love with yourself, and you're in love with all things that created you can't, and everything that I see, how can you love yourself without loving what created you? So you're actually connecting yourself to the creator and the infinite source, and connecting more so with that within you, instead of seeing it as a separating division. And also allowing more love to be with another. Because once you in love with yourself, you love the creator even more so for giving you that love to even feel, or even be acknowledgement of the comprehension level behind it and in front of it. And then on top of that, you also get a chance to shine a light on another person, because you're looking at it from, I love myself. So you need and you have to see how much love you have in you. You just give that, you radiate that off. And sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. But that goes to another person. You love them almost beyond control because of the love that you feel from the infinite source that's within you, that you feel within yourself, within the infinite source. And therefore you can give it away as freely as it's given to you. I don't know how deep that sounded, but it felt really good to just finally get that out. So when people tell me, you know what, Lex, you love me more than I love myself. You're in love with me more than I could even think of being in love. I used to be like, oh, well, what does that mean? You don't love me enough? Really? You don't you don't love me either? But then I think I was given that token for them to open their eyes even more so. It was given to me to open them and expose them to what they already know and feel, but they just need something to kind of wisp it past them in a different way. Sometimes you can read the same book, see the same street, and you notice something different about it every single time. And that's just going to happen, because sometimes what we see right in front of us is the most unseen factor that we see within ourselves. So that's what everything can happen in such a blinking of an eye, almost, to where it can happen. You'll feel your insides change. You'll feel your mind change. And it's not so much the pompous factor. I can go around, people say, well, who are you? I'm the goddess, not a goddess, but the goddess. That's what I represent myself as. Or I'm the queen. So it's not necessarily affirmations or to make people feel lower than what they are, but I'm not going to lower myself down to make a person feel higher to where they're not willing to reach within themselves. That's what I embody myself as. Now, sometimes I'm like, well, if you're the goddess, Lex, how come you're having a little bit of, engine problems, for example? Or how come you're having this? Because I'm still here in the flesh. So my spiritual being is a whole different level from where I can never be at, because I'm still going to have the daily problems that come along with being on the world in the fleshly body. But I do understand falling in love with myself over and over again. And it just doesn't come from just me. I. It comes from understanding that love is abundantly given from the source and creation of all things. God, the creator, the infinite source, the omega, the alpha, whatever it is, those gifts that we're given, whether it be you can sing or spit rhymes, whether it can be you can grind out in the kitchen and bake it like nobody does, or you can saute some freaking delicious meals and do whatever you can, or you can put together some awesome clothes and school designings, whether you can speak 7 different languages, whether you can do hair like nobody don't care, whether it be anything you can do, you can build a business and structure, whether you can do 20 nonprofits and go ahead and feed 10 million people. No matter what it is given to you. And to be in love with you is to understand that you were given it from the love that's within you, from the love that created you, so you can give more out there. Love is about sharing and spreading. You don't need to have any definitive line between love, because it's going to be given no matter what you do. When you permeate what is a part of you and what is given to you freely and lovingly, all it can do is spread. People feel it. You don't need to say, oh, I want to remind love with myself today. You know it. You feel it. And you don't even have to come up with the concept of it. Others will let you know what they see and feel. They're good feedbacks, not their negative feeds and stuff like that. Good criticism is always a good thing, but people will let you know what they feel. And when people stop me or just have something to say, even if it's a, hey, you know what, you sound like you're kind of grumpy today, I'm kind of irritated by it, but that's what they perceive. So I can't be upset about it. I'm not on the outside of myself, so I can't tell people what they see. Now, some people are a little over dramatic and they're in a bad mood, and they might want to reflect what they see in you because they want you to be a little sweeter to calm them down. But at the same time, you know what is right and you know what is wrong. So without further ado or less, in love with you. Like I said, in all these topics we have, in these segments we have, from Alicia, thank you, from beautiful Florida, Thank you for your questions. We're getting to them. I said it, but we're gonna go over some things that might sound like you may have hit the nail on the head before, but once you hear it and hear it and hear it on different ways and different levels from different people out there asking for what's going on, it's amazing how much more you open up and explore. And with these books that are coming out for the visualization, just a step guide for the loving yourself. Through the infinite source, different things going on. You can also just take a lot of information into that. Sometimes seeing the words and receiving them in a quiet place, in your mind, can actually grow that more. But take some time out to be in love with you, to just love who you are. Don't pick at yourself, but build yourself up one brick by one brick, one piece by one piece. Take more time into giving yourself love, understanding, and nurturing than always breaking yourself down and I don't haves and I wish I could looks. If you're to the point where you don't like your weight, why don't you work on something of a lifestyle change like I am? I just want to be more efficient when I'm moving around and feel lighter on my toes. Love yourself through it, not because you're trying to get to where somebody else is, but because you're already trying to get to the inner you that's already waiting for you, which it always is. So if you feel like you want to change your hairstyle or you want to change the way your attire is, just incorporate why you want it done. Okay, and make sure it comes from a place of you loving yourself. Now, you loving yourself doesn't really have anything to do with material matters whatsoever. It comes from within you. But if you have to take steps in order for you to start realizing and seeing more of the infinite, beautiful, cognitive, just amazing, remarkable being that you are already, then do those things. Do those things that make your heart be glad. But also remember, in order to see anything that has to come or feel anything that has to come from the infinite source of love is to feel it right within your spirit and to know, whether you close your eyes for a moment and speak inside your own mind, just let yourself remember that dreams and visualizations and manifestations and aspirations, inspiration, motivations all come from within first, and then they're drawn out. So without anything else to add on this for now, thank you, Alicia, for your questions. Thank you, RDDC family, and any of those of you who are tuning in for the first time or repeatedly tuning in. We appreciate that. Like I said before, we have iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're on TuneIn Radio. I believe we're going to Pandora. We do have books that are going to be distributed very soon. We also have a newsletter that'll be up and possibly a magazine later on this year. And we also are working on our YouTube channel so you can be a little more engaging into winning your prizes and your contests and your gift cards and so forth. And even that trip. This is Lex, always coming to you straight from the heart. You want to reach us again, that's Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com, yandex.com. realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com. The links will be in the description below in the comments section. Feel free to speak your heart and reach us as always. And we'll never forget you because we're here, we're family, and we all love you. So tune in and thank you for igniting with your hearts. And we'll be back with you soon.